Welcome, everyone. It's me, your permanently sick chairwoman of the Libertarian Party of Colorado. I am normally on camera for meetings. I feel like that's the best thing to do, but I'm so sick tonight, I'm just not on camera. So for the live stream, I just wanted to clarify that. Mr. Secretary, will you please take attendance? Where did you? There you are. You're muted. You're muted, Mr. Buss.
Okay, hopefully I'm not there. Okay, so start that again. Affiliates. You here? There's there. Okay. Campaign. Do I hear campaigns? Do I hear communications?
Here.
Do I hear fundraising? I know that's open. Legislative.
I'm here.
Okay. Membership. Outreach.
Present.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, I had to jump off. Where are we at? Did we do attendance?
Yep, we've done attendance.
Thank you so much. This is such a struggle. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor to public comment. Mr. Atwood, I see your hand raised.
Good evening, Madam Chair. I'm your liaison to Center-Right Coalition. I'm also a member of the Approval Voting Party, and just reporting on this morning's Center-Right Coalition. One of the topics that came up was gays against groomers, and a representative from them discussed things. Another topic was the FASTER effort that is arming both school staff and parents has hired a lobbyist. Another point that was made is that as smaller school populations are existing, some school districts are using it as an opportunity to cut back on charter schools. Fourth topic is approval voting is going to have a speaker at both St. Andrew United Methodist Church on the 18th of this month and at the Grizzly Rose on June 1st. See me if you're at all interested. And sort of as a personal note, I'm off giving people a $2 bill for the Frank Atwood Fivefecta. Frank Atwood Fivefecta is that both Biden and Trump will be out of the race. DeSantis and Nikki Haley will be representing the Republicans, Gavin Newsom, the Democrats, and DeSantis wins in November. I feel this is such an outlandish bet that it's necessary to pay people off in advance, just so that you know I'm serious. And so I've got $2 bills for those who see me in person that want the $2 bill, but if the Fivefecta comes through, I expect $4 back in November. So I don't know if the camera can see the $5 bill, the $2 bill, but I have blind faith in that, and whoever takes me up, eager to give you a $2 bill, and we'll see what happens in November. So thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Atwood. I look forward to debating you on that debate stage at the Grizzly Rose June 1st. Should be a good time, don't you think?
Totally so. Aren't we lucky?
We are. Mr. Rutledge, I see your hand raised.
Hey, Mr. Rutledge, terribly sorry. Your audio is not coming through the computer, or at least not for me. I don't know if everyone else can hear him, but we can't hear you.
In the meantime, I will take you up on that bet if you will mail me that $2 bill, and I'll mail you back for
person to person, but eager Here's proof that I've got it. Here's proof that there's more twos behind it. Look forward to seeing you.
We still can't hear you, Bennett.
Mr. Rutledge, do you want to try again? And maybe you could back out of the call and come back in. Still can't hear you.
Madam Chair,
Yes, Mr. Atwood.
the $2 bill I recognize is more entertainment than necessary return on investment. So I'm paying $2 ticket for people to just hear the idea and then move on. But I want them to have the $2.
Perfect.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mr. Rutledge, I will open the floor again to public comment at the end of the meeting. Will that work for you? Oh, okay. Let's see what you put in the chat. Business day in January, whichever is later. For general elections, no person shall be placed in a second nomination by petition unless a person is eligible elector of the third political subdivision or district in which the officer is to be elected, and for unless the person was registered as an affiliated minor political party 5 or as unaffiliated as shown in the statewide voter registration system number 6 later than the first business day of January immediately preceding the general election. Okay. I will open the floor again, Mr. Rutledge. Oh, this is in regard to SB 24-210, and I wish to defer until I get my work working. Perfect. I'll open the floor again for public comment at the end of the meeting. So we'll go over that. I'll give you plenty of time, don't worry. Let's see, the approval of the agenda. We all have been, we have the agenda. It's been published. Are there any additions to the agenda tonight? Hearing none, the agenda is approved as written. We have not received
Excuse me, Chairwoman.
Yes,
This is Peg Cage. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Could you please add the good initiatives to your agenda?
It is added.
It is.
All right, wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see. So we don't have previous minutes to approve. We'll get those out via email and get those done ASAP, right, Mr. Butts?
Yeah, I sent the minutes out the other day.
Well, I'm crazy. Okay, well, I did not review them. However,
Okay, all right. We can ignore them until the next meeting. I don't care.
Okay. It's been a rough week.
Okay.
Let's see. Do we have any county affiliate representation here tonight that wishes to speak on behalf of their county affiliate?
We'll speak on behalf of Pueblo. Pueblo is continuing to kick ass.
Thank you, Mr. Wiley. Let's see. Any others? All right. We do not have any LNZ representatives tonight, but the region has been very active recently. Details to be released soon. Now we move on to reports from the board. This month, with the rollover to M365, we have not submitted board reports this month because there was no process and it's just been this whole super fun cluster. So we will get those board reports in and publish, hopefully. So if there's any there's no additions to the board reports, but if any director wishes to speak on behalf of their position and just update the membership really quickly, that would be great. If not, we will get reports out as soon as possible. Being so sick, things have just got away from me. Mr. Gonzalez, I see your hand raised.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I do understand that we do have issues with the reporting. Would it be okay if we do a quick 30-second, at least verbal report so we can have it on the record for the board meeting? Or would you still want the written report in the folder?
No, let's do 30 seconds or more if people require. It's 5 minutes each, so if you guys want to take 5 minutes, cool, we can do that too. I've been working really hard on region issues, getting ready for convention, updating all of our credentials committee with all of our new alternates, things like that. We're prepared to go to convention next week, so that's incoming. I've been working really hard on my vice chairman of the National Party campaign. I seem to be polling really high, so I'm very hopeful I'll be elected to LNC vice chair. I will be retaining chairwoman of Colorado. I can do both jobs concurrently. That is my plan. So, off the top of my head, that's what I've been working on this month, as well as we met with several candidates for fundraising director. We have one to meet with us tonight for possible appointment. The committees, the political committee and the marketing committee, I've attended all of those meetings. We've done really well working in that capacity. Mr. Aiken, I see your hand raised.
Sorry, no.
No? Okay. Mr. Gonzalez, I'll move on to you as vice chair.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just a quick update for everyone. Working on the Finance Committee and figuring out a process on how to first review proposals for financial review and then being presented to the board. We also worked in the Party Committee to plan events. There is some news coming out, hopefully this week, about an event that we are planning for Q2 of 2024. I did onboarding. I also worked on my campaign. I interviewed fundraising potentials for fundraising director, and I also dedicated a few hours to my campaign. Total worked last month, April, is 60 hours for the party and 12 hours for my campaign. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez. Miss Spink, as our treasurer, you're next.
Spent most of my time this past month working on building reporting for our contributions and expenditures report to the Secretary of State. Got that filed for January through April on May 6th. I've also been working on building a financial statement reporting for the board so that we're all aligned on what our P&L or income statement looks like, as well as brainstorming and putting together key performance indicators, some metrics that we can analyze to help grow the party. That's it.
Thank you, Miss Spink. Mr. Buss.
Well, mine has basically been doing the minutes that no one seems to have, so I'm going to have to fix that and the agenda. But one of the things was I got the emergency call to get your application into to the Secretary of State. That was kind of an interesting experience of flying over Colorado to get that done, and just basically trying to answer emails and keep life moving on.
I want to thank you. I completely forgot that this was this month. Thank you so much for driving all over Colorado to make sure all of our candidate paperwork was in by the deadline. I cannot thank you so much, but that you went above and beyond. You get MVP of the board.
Oh, jeez. That's a McDonald's. That's all we want. It's McDonald's.
So moved, yeah.
Mr. Aiken, I see your hand raised.
Yes, Mr. Bass, can you tell us more about what's going on with the email?
We're working. I'm actually working on with Microsoft why this particular group isn't working. Makes no sense. It's set up like others, and it's working. They're working just fine. But I have tomorrow where I can spend the time to work out exactly what's going on. But it'll be something really stupid, and it'll make me look like an idiot. But it's just the way technology works.
You can't look dumb with an accent like that. I'm sorry. You just
Yes,
look genius
yes,
all
you
the
can.
time.
Yes, you can.
All right, Mr. Batim.
Madam Chair,
Yeah.
I'm ramping up, of course, but I have taken the opportunity to begin building relationships among all of our affiliates, active affiliates, and those who are up and coming. I've also been reaching out to those that are inactive, and now that I'm trained on CRM, I'm taking the opportunity to update their data. That data is outdated. Some people aren't even alive that I've been trying to email. So
That makes it hard.
Wow. Thank you so much for that work. That is amazing. I really appreciate it. Second MVP of the board, Mr. Loria is absent. Mr. Marinovich, communications.
Yes. One moment. Yeah. So during this past quarter, really been, as personally as director, been working on X primarily. The new features of X, we upgraded our X account to Premium Plus to unlock all of the features and hopefully earn ad revenue status with this account. So that's been my primary goal as communications director, along with the other duties such as drafting and releasing press releases, which I did on a number of occasions. I've been utilizing new and upcoming emerging technology to help me with that and testing that out as a part of the whole X Premium Plus subscription. So I was able to join a Spaces that was hosted by a pretty big Spaces host account from the official account, and it was pretty successful. The stream reached over 15, I think 15, or it had 15,000 listeners at its peak. It had, and there was times where I was engaging directly with the sitting Congressman Matt Gaetz and going back and forth with him, and him, regardless of how you feel about him as a politician, agreeing with a lot of what we said and looking basically, I mean, they're basically holding out their hand and since the whole thing with the Trump and coming to the LP National, these types of conversations are being had at a high level between the leaders and the Libertarian Party and national major figures. So everyone needs to take a second to recognize that. Or if this is new to you, this is what's happening on the cutting edge of our political movement. So it's an exciting time. And yeah, so apart from that, I run the marketing committee. And yeah, we've been doing a lot of initiatives to try to understand our user base and how to message them more effectively. We're also working on ways to generate additional revenue for the party. So again, like all the committees are newly formed, so we're getting our legs in and we're filling our backlog up with tasks and moving through them. And yeah, should be a good couple months here. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Mr. Marinovich. Well done, by the way, on that Twitter space and getting our name out there to such a large audience and leveraging that for our platform. I commend you for that. Mr. Wiley, I see your hand raised.
Yeah, I apologize for being out of order. If you don't mind, I know it's not required that I give a report, but if you don't mind, I do have a meeting in a couple of minutes. If I could just jump in real quick and offer a couple of minutes.
Yes.
Two things I want to speak to. First is the travels that I've conducted over the last 2 weeks. I've been all over the Western Slope primarily in the last couple of weeks, all the way up through Grand Junction and all the way down through Durango and all these small towns in between, visiting with different constituents who are a part of my district running for Congress, but most importantly, trying to get a grasp of what their major concerns are. And I'm detecting a deep dissatisfaction with the representation that they're getting from the Uniparty on both sides. And so a lot of people are very open to a conversation about an alternate party, about the Libertarian Party. and pretty much are prepared to listen to our position and our pitch and hear us out, which I haven't experienced over the last several years. It's as soon as you get to the third option, people are they kind of stop listening. But the third option is the main option this year, and so I'm really encouraged by that travel, and I'm going to be doing a lot more out on that side as well. I worked with the affiliate out there in Mesa County, and we're seeing some really good things and some energy from that, as well as some good connections. We want to try to bring them back into the party. James, let's talk about that piece more. But I don't know. This isn't probably going to follow me directly, but I did want to give a quick introduction as part of my report to the good initiatives. These are opposed to the bad and the ugly initiatives that are out there. We have got ranked choice voting coming after us, and of course we've had open primaries for a long time, just degrading the integrity of our election. And so I've got on the call here a couple of visitors who are going to be speaking to that, specifically Linda O'Pines and Peg Cage. These are two warriors, two fighters who I worked with in 2022, and we organized the Colorado recounts here in Colorado, and we worked really hard to make sure that we were going down a path of improving our elections, and we sued the Secretary of State half a dozen times. So we've definitely got some experience working together, and I'm proud to be able to welcome them to this meeting to talk about the good initiatives, which are going to be attempting to eliminate the ranked choice voting and then, of course, eliminate the open primaries. That's a significant benefit to libertarians. As we know, most people who don't register as libertarian, even though they're a small L or libertarian leaning, do so because they have the opportunity to participate in one of the uniparty primaries. And they can't do that if they're a libertarian. If they commit to the principle of libertaria, then they lose the opportunity to be a part of that open primary. So just wanted to introduce them. Probably not coming up next, but whenever they do come up, this is your official introduction. So thank you guys, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.
Thank you, Mr. Wiley, for bringing this initiative to our meeting. I'm excited to dive into that. Moving on in board reports, still, we're almost done. Mr. Vance, our legislative director.
First, I want to say thank you, Jordan, for bringing up Polis in that Spaces event last week. That was great to see what you were doing, and the fact that you brought that Spaces to our attention was fantastic, and it was very informative. So thank you. My report, real briefly, we finished off the legislative session on the 8th. I was grateful that we did not have to go an extra day because of the snow day. They went ahead and finished everything off on the evening of the 8th. A lot of really terrible bills were passed. Thankfully, the assault weapons ban did not get passed, but it was killed. A couple other terrible gun bills were also killed. But I'm looking forward to Brandon Works' legislative roundup on Wednesday at Liberty on the Rock. So if you can attend, please attend. And we finished off all of our legislative session calls for the week, for the year as well. Since the last board meeting, we had 4 more. So it was it's been great. It's been exciting to see what we've been doing with that legislative update that we've been doing via YouTube, because we've really been able to expand our reach and let people know. In fact, I think one of our biggest successes we've had was Senate Bill 158. That bill got all the way through. Senate bill got all the way through the Senate, went to the House, and because of our because we were told by a couple psychedelic favoring Republicans, they were able to get active, get involved. Jimmy Smers and Ashley Troxel, they were able to get some people connected, and actually they were actually able to lead a talk the night before about Senate Bill 158 and all the terrible impacts it would have for our state on our First and Fourth Amendment rights. The next day, they were able to walk all those people down to the Capitol, and they were able to get the bill killed. Unfortunately, they did not let any of those individuals speak, which I believe is a First Amendment violation. But the bill was killed and pulled by Senator Lukens. So wonderful news. Hopefully, they said that they're going to bring this thing back around next year, so we have to be ready to fight for our First Amendment and our Fourth Amendment rights, because this bill is going to do 3 things. It's going to force social media companies to verify everyone's age with a government ID. So you're going to have to give up if you want to be on social media, you're going to have to give up your your Fourth Amendment rights that way. They're going to ban speech, whether it's going to be about guns, illicit drug use, etc. That's going to be a bit of an issue. And they're also going to tell social media companies that they're going to have to keep your metadata for over a year and hand it over to the government. And they're going to force social media companies to not tell you if you're being investigated by the government. So a lot of real nasty stuff in that bill. We were able to get it killed, thankfully, but we need to be prepared for next year, just like we were prepared for the assault weapons ban this year. And we got that thing killed 2 years in a row now. So that's another wonderful thing to see. So we got to keep on going. But yeah, legislative session is thankfully over for this year, and hopefully we don't have to see a special session somewhat later down the road in 2024.
You've definitely earned your stars and bars. You are a highly decorated soldier on the legislative front. I'm just really impressed with you. Just really hit your stride. Last year you did great. This year you've just really you're a heavy hitter now. So I'm just thrilled that you're on this board and so dedicated. Miss Steinke, I see your hand.
Thank you, Hannah.
I just had a quick question about the social media ban. Is that universally for all social media platforms, or is it just for the ones that are already in bed with the government, like well-known, like Facebook and Instagram and the like?
Oh, it's all social media. It said it didn't specify specific social media companies. It was just social media.
Wow. Yikes.
Yeah. This thing was psychotic. And the most pernicious thing about it is it was called Prevent Child Abuse on Social Media or something. Protect juveniles on social media. Yes.
Of course it was.
This legislative session was psychotic, and the amount of manipulation was absolutely wild.
Ugh, awful. Ms. Steinke, I will open the floor for your board report as our outreach director.
Sure. So I attended Liberty on the Rocks. I continue to take track of all of the metrics for attendance, for new people, for all of that within the spreadsheet that I've been keeping. And then I also attended a bunch of the board meetings and kept up with the brainstorming and everything as we move forward into the next year.
Yes, you have been a wealth of information about all kinds of things that I don't know about. I love relying on your wealth of knowledge. So thank you so much for being a contributing member of all of our committees and offering your expertise. I really
extremely happy to help and to support you and everything that you're doing with the party.
Thank you. Let's move on to staff reports. Mr. Aiken, do you have anything you'd like to tell us?
Yes. I was unable to deliver the email I normally deliver about a week and a half before the board meeting because of our email problem, so I apologize for that. Mr. Buss is working on the solution to that, so that's why there were no board reports for this meeting. So hopefully we'll get that fixed. And that's about all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Atkin. I'm sorry it's been just a nightmare, and it does not help that I've been sick for like 4 months in a row. I'm over that. I need my brain back. Mr. Savoy, do you have anything that we need to know as technology director?
No.
Same old same. You're good? You're good?
So good.
Thank you. Committee reports. We don't have our merchandising committee chair here, and audit committee is not meeting right now, so we don't need to go over committee reports. We have no special orders. We have no unfinished business. So now we get to the fun part of the agenda, and we are at budget. Ms. Spink, will you enlighten us on the budget?
So there was a leftover budget, just to make sure I'm interrupting you if I'm not on the right track here, Hannah. A draft budget that was created by the previous treasurer. My focus has been getting the reports filed, but do plan on rolling that forward and making sure that any of our big expenditures over at least the next few months are incorporated into the budget. Or are you looking for how much cash we have on hand, Hannah?
So I didn't add 13.1 to the agenda. It just says your name next to it. So I'm not sure what we're meeting on.
We can scrub that. I think it may be a holdover from the cut and paste. So I'll nuke it and it will not appear again.
Thank you, Mr. Bus. Okay,
Well,
cool.
I'll just throw one point on there. If anyone does, or is anyone is anticipating wanting to spend a large sum of money over the next few months, please let me know so that I can incorporate it into our upcoming budget.
And I would just like to reiterate any expenditures definitely need to be brought before the Finance Committee before being made a proposal for our agenda. Mr. Gonzalez.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We are working on a procedure to do all of that stuff.
Perfect. Glad to hear the update. Moving on to 13.2, we are at IS Political. Mr. Buss.
Yeah, I'm in the sacrificial lamb on this one. Okay, basically, we've been noodling around IS Political for a while, and we've had some demos and that lot, but now I just feel like we need to formalize and stuff. But just to bring up everything up, IS Political is an all-in-one finance and campaign platform. It has accounting with full FCC compliance, and in our case, full Colorado State Secretary of State compliance. It can handle the fundraising, the digital outreach, customer management, and is fully supported right out of the box. It costs about $350 a month. We get everything with the IS Political team helping to shoehorn the current information into their system. We also get a lifetime of training and support so new people can learn from the source, not just from the hand-me-down information. IS Political can track multiple campaigns at once, and I like to call it in their walled garden, so the campaign team can decide what information they wish to share with us as Colorado or not. They also have the access to the financial compliance tools. Thus, we should not get any campaign embarrassing us as Colorado by accidentally not filing the required forms. The system, just it'll make it interesting for Dave. The system is obviously cloud-based, and it gets backed up at least once a day, and we get unlimited users for the $350-ish a month. The board's had a pretty in-depth demonstration. Our treasurer has spent several hours grilling the IS Political support team with accounting questions. The board is convinced that it will be a great benefit to the party, and National is moving to IS Political. And so at this point, I move that the Libertarian Party of Colorado expend up to $400 per month on IS Political platform to supercharge our campaigns moving forward.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I second.
Second.
A motion and a second. Is there any discussion?
No, just kidding. Just kidding.
No.
You heard my right hand man. No discussion.
Did it go through a committee review of any kind?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep, and I also sat
No
through the
questions here?
demonstration. I'm so excited for the fundraising capabilities of it. And the fact that I'm pretty sure I can use this database. That is always a plus. Is there any objection to spending up to $400 a month for switching to IS Political for our database? Hearing none, that passes.
Woohoo.
All right, that was quick and painless.
Good.
Moving on to the fundraising director appointment. So tonight, over the past month, my vice chair, Mr. Gonzalez, and I met with several potential candidates for fundraising director, which is a vacant position. We've narrowed it down to Jennifer Markovich. She came with a prepared plan and ideas and experience to the job of fundraising. So I'm going to open the floor to Miss Markovich so that she can give you her pitch. Then we're going to be voting on the appointment. So, Miss Markovich, you have the floor. You're muted, huh?
Hi, guys. Thank you so much for having me. I'm not going to touch much on my experience or any of that. I just want to say I have over 15 to 20 years of experience of fundraising as a bartender, and I've raised over $500,000 for individual families. But my experience I would like to use for a better cause, and I would like to tell you how I'm going to do that. First, I'm going to tell you my goals for this year. As of 2024, my first goal is to reach $100,000 in our budget by December. My overall goal by next year, 2025, will be $1 million in the reserves. How we're going to do that is a very long list of extremely fun and daunting tasks, if you must. We're obviously going to have events. We have affiliate links that we've talked about in my last interview. Mr. Wiley actually brought up a very interesting venue or avenue for me to more explore, because I'm not very familiar with it, but the crypto cards, phone calls, weekly phone calls, emails, Zoom calls for our donors, subscription calls, yearly thank you cards and update flyers, raffles, silent auctions, recruiting, and stuff like that. So I'm going to go into a little bit of detail on some of those topics. So events, obviously, we're going to do the yearly convention. There's only going to be a few things that I would like to add to that, and I'll get to that here in just a moment. I also would like to do bi-yearly donor award ceremony events. So we'll have like a top donor list, and those donors will get awards. So we would give them like a wood plaque or something like that. And I'd also like to have what I would like to call a donor. Sorry, I have teenage children who are playing video games in the other room. Donor referral incentive events. So my idea behind that one is our top donors will have like a private party, and it's going to be invite only. And the more people they bring, the higher donations they get is kind of the idea. And each donation that they get, they would get a percentage of that if they brought the person. So their attendees, they would get a percentage of the donations that are made at that event. Obviously, I would also like to do raffles and silent auctions at these events. One idea that I had was possibly doing a Valentine's Day event, and we do like auction volunteers who would like to be auctioned as like a date type of thing. Kind of like think of Coyote Ugly when they were auctioning off her dad. If you guys have ever seen that movie, I think that would be fun. I would like to look into, and I don't know if we do this or not, because I have not had a chance to speak with Erin King about what she was doing previously with the food and alcohol, but I would like to explore wholesale and possibly food truck vendors for events as well. And what I would like to discuss is a new idea that nobody has heard, Alicia or Hannah, about the events, is that I would like to possibly do home volunteer parties. So we'll have volunteers host parties at their home, and if we get donations at these parties, then they would get a percentage of the donations as well. So I called it a sliding scale. So the more attendees that donate, not just people who come to eat your barbecue food, the higher the percentage would be for the payout for the volunteer of the hosting volunteer. But I would also like to start having at all events possibly a merchandise booth. So I know you guys have your merch store online with your cups and your stickers and stuff like that. But I think it would be really fun to have a merch store at the venue or at the events where we can just purchase them, and obviously that would create revenue as well. As far as the yearly calls or the weekly calls, they're not yearly calls. I would like to start off with, I'll be doing them by myself. My 14-year-old has already volunteered if I am elected. So my goal for that by myself is 10 calls a day. So that would be about 280 calls a month. My ultimate goal with that would be about 500 volunteers or possibly paid people with a whole call center like nationwide. So each call center would have 2 to 500 people calling every single day, all day long, to get donations, the more people we have that are registered libertarians, the more funding we're going to be able to get. The more people talk about it, the more they're going to know about it. Word of mouth is really the best marketing strategy, I believe. So that's kind of my goal with the call centers, is going to start off small, as most things do. And then also with that call centers, we also have the marketing aspect of fundraising, which would be like the emails and marketing. So I want to do quarterly emails for upcoming costs, needs, and updates. So we'll update people on what their funds are going towards, what we're going to need in the future. So like we have this $400 budget now for the IS political database. We could essentially tell them, hey, like we're going to get a new database so that way we can be more proactive with our, with our work and everything like that, and just let them know like, hey, we need more money, or hey, next year they're going to try this gun bill again and we know nobody wants that. And like nobody wants that. So we're going to need more funding for possible lawyer retainers, stuff like that. Because I know when I donate, I would like to have information on what my money's going to. I don't want to donate something and wonder like, well, did that just go to a billionaire's pocket for his fifth, loft for his second wife? Hold on one second. I need to put my phone on do not disturb because I do have children who do not know how to listen. He's outside at the park and he knows I'm on this call right now, so I'm so sorry. I do want to do monthly or quarterly. I'm not really sure on that time frame yet, but I want to do Zoom calls for our donors as well, for like just an update with them as well, more personal. And I think that if we're like face to face with them, it's hard to say no to somebody to their face. So I think Zoom calls would be fun for that. Reminder calls for donors who haven't donated for more than 2 months or have only donated once. And also people who had a subscription and their subscription has been canceled or that just didn't get paid or whatever, just call them and say, hey, I noticed that you haven't donated in X amount of days or months or whatever, and see if they want to renew their subscription. The yearly thank you cards that I mentioned in my first list is I would like to do yearly thank you cards around New Year's Day. I don't want to do any like specific holiday, just in case we have people that don't, celebrate any certain holiday, but I think everybody can relate to New Year's. So send out a New Year's thank you card, update, like flyer type thing, explain what we did last year, what our goals are for this year that we are aware of. And just let them know like, hey, we're still here. We still know you're here. We're not going anywhere. We hope you're going to stick with us. Thank you, etc. And then as far as like more marketing, really, so I've already attended numerous Liberty on the Rocks events, I guess like they're called meetups or whatever. I would like to continue to do that more often so that I can connect with more people and on the fundraising side of things instead of just hanging out with people that I really enjoy hanging out with. And so that was the pitch for emails and marketing. I'm trying to get through this as fast. I have so many ideas. I'm so sorry if it is forever, but so I got the home volunteers. I also would like to do some more volunteer stuff for like auction items, so like paintings, services, trades, etc. So if like you have anything, like if you do hair or somebody that does some sort of trade service or like has things that they would like to get rid of, see if they would like to donate them to us so we can auction them. My goodness. Obviously, I would like to get more volunteers for the phone calls and eventually get door-to-door volunteers to go out and just talk to people about our movement. And then I think that was everything as far as those, but the convention, I would like to add. So I know that this year was fun. I had a blast. I don't know about if everybody else did. But one thing that I really, really wanted to do at the convention with all of the people that I enjoy being around, after all the work is done. So when you work hard, you should play hard. And I think it would be very appropriate at the end of our convention if we did some sort of DJ so we could have a dance time or even karaoke. Obviously, that'd be something we can vote on at the time, but that would be something that I would like to add to that. And then the wholesale of the food and liquor, because definitely want to see it the cheapest we can get it. And since I was a bartender for so many years, I don't want to tell you because then you'll know I'm old. I do know some people in the industry. I could probably figure out where I can get it the cheapest, without having to have our own liquor license to purchase. I'm not sure how that all works, for wholesale, but I'm sure we can figure that out and get liquor as cheap as possible. Because I know for me personally, and a lot of my friends that are members and attendees, I guess if you must, we like to drink, and that's where our money's going to be at these events is the liquor number one, and then the food number two. So let's get that as cheap as possible, and the more we dance, the more we drink, the more we drink, the more we're going to dance, and it's going to be a cycle of let's just keep going and have fun and make money all at the same time. And then of course, as far as the events go, this goes with the auctions and stuff. I would like to do raffles and stuff as well. And that'll all just kind of be lumped in with all of the auctions and stuff like that.
Thank you, Ms. Markovich. You have so much energy. That is going to be very fun to work with, I believe, if you are appointed. Are there any questions for Ms. Markovich from any of the directors? Ms. Spink.
Yeah, so I think most of us are aware you need to spend money to make money. We do have, I'm going to use the term loosely, limited funds. So I'm curious how, if you have some sort of ramp plan, like, I'm going to budget a little bit, I'm going to make a lot, and then I can start spending more to make a lot. Or how you would approach being limited. And I'm not saying you have $10 to spend over the next 6 months. Don't get me wrong. But again, not having unlimited funds, how you would approach that.
So my goal for that, and I spoke with Hannah about this specifically because my goal is at first what I would like to do is do all of the things on my volunteer list. So it's going to cost nothing except for just time. People can volunteer their time and it's free. I mean, my time right now is free, and I think people that really feel passionate about what we're doing will hopefully have the same ideas I do about their time and what they can do with it. And then once that has gotten some, revenue, I would like to use that revenue to go into the next phases of my ideas. And that's another thing I didn't actually mention was like the committees that I would like to work with. And I think Allison, you're a part of the finance committee, you're in charge of the budget and everything. I would love to work probably closest with you and then also with Kirsten. So she's our outreach because I'll need you guys and the marketing team to help me get volunteers and stuff like that. So I will definitely be working closely with you if I am elected. So that way we can figure out how to make more money without spending it. I love not spending money. I am a thrift shopper until I die.
Jennifer.
Mr. Marinovich, I see your hand raised.
Yes. Maybe a little biased here, but I'm going to go on a limb and say that every Vitch that has been on this board has been amazing. RIP to our former secretary, Andy, and myself, and I would love to welcome you to the family, not only on this board, but of the Vitches of this board. That is all.
Thank you very much. Fun fact for the Vitches, just a fun fact is that Vitch actually means son of. So whatever your the prefix of that is, you're a son of. So like I'm son of Marco. Just fun fact of the day.
You can never go wrong with Slavs on the board. They produce, they produce, they produce. So I will entertain a motion to appoint Ms. Markovich to the fundraising director.
Motion.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Oh, yes, Mr. Vance, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just curious. What inspired you to take on this position? I'm just kind of curious. What is your previous board experience?
I have absolutely zero board experience as far as politics goes. Hannah is a big inspiration for me personally. As you guys know, Brandon as well is a big inspiration for me. Like the movement itself, like I didn't even know libertarianism was a thing up until about 7, 8 months ago. And when I realized that, I was not an independent who just kind of teeter-tottered on don't mess with my stuff. I really got into learning more about what being a libertarian means. I changed my voter registration, and when Hannah told me there was an opportunity for me to actually make a change in the world, like in our state right now. Can I please give me a moment? I'm on my call. I couldn't help but jump on it. And plus I have a ton of experience fundraising. Like that's really where my experience is just being able to talk to people. I know how to make money. I know how to fundraise. And that's it. And I hope the opportunity, if I get it, I will have more experience and I'll be able to be more of an asset in the future as well.
Thank you. I will entertain a motion to appoint Ms. Markovich as fundraising director.
I move.
I second.
And, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any objection to appointing Ms. Markovich to fundraising director? Hearing none, that passes. Welcome and congratulations, Ms. Markovich. We're
Thank you,
excited
everybody.
to bring your energy into the board. We need it. Great. Now we are on our last item, which is the good initiatives, but I see that we're going to be at time in 5 minutes. Can I have a motion to extend time for 20 minutes? We can extend again if we need.
I motion.
I second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any objection to extending time by 20 minutes? Hearing none, that passes. Thanks, guys. I will open the floor to Miss Opines.
Hello. My name is Linda Good. I go by Linda Opines online. Jim's right. I've worked with him for a few years now, doing legal work. We've, like he said, we've sued against the state for conducting illegal recounts. Most recently, Jim helped me write a brief for the Colorado Supreme Court as I was fighting against some ballot initiatives that Kent Theory has been putting into the title court. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with who he is. He is the man that brought us the open primary back in 2016. And he is back at it again. He brought 74 different ballot initiatives through the title board, 7 of which he got titled. And when we discovered this back in January, a friend of mine and I wrote a few of our own initiatives to counter him, and basically to go on the offense as opposed to just waiting to see what happened at the election. So what he is trying to bring to Colorado, and we will see it on the ballot. I believe he's probably going to petition on his initiative number 310, and that includes an all candidate primary. So basically it is an completely open primary. They call it a jungle primary. So you'd have Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, Green, everybody. It brings the kind of the weight of the elections from the general over to the primary, right? And it'll be all on one ballot. And so that would then be conducted by ranked choice voting, if you're familiar with that at all. And the top 4 candidates that won from that primary would then move on to the general. Which would also then be conducted with the ranked choice voting option. So that particular initiative covers U.S. Congress, so Senate and representatives, state House representatives, the General Assembly, and state officers, so governor, secretary of state, AG. It does not include county members. So if you just want to talk about a waste of money, now we already get for the primary, our counties already send out 2 ballots, right? They send out a Democrat and a Republican ballot for unaffiliateds. Now they're going to add a third because you'll have the all candidate primary ballot, and then they'll mail out a Republican ballot and a Democrat ballot for for those county offices. So we're talking adding another couple $100,000 to these larger counties. It's just ridiculous. There are 6 states in the nation that have banned ranked choice voting through legislation. Alaska is the one that everybody brags about, people who like ranked choice voting, and they have it on their ballot in November to repeal it because they hate it. So what we have proposed, like I said, instead of just sitting back and taking it to see what happened, is we have 3 that we are petitioning. The first one is number 201, which will prohibit ranked choice voting in Colorado, period. We have the next one is number 202, and that one is to preserve the caucus and assembly, the nomination process for parties, because I guess I didn't add that. One of the other initiatives that he is trying to do is to make it so that you can only petition onto a ballot. The parties can no longer nominate candidates. So that's another thing he's trying to do. It would be on a different initiative, though. He only has one that got through for that. So that's our second one. And then the third one is what would close the primary, basically saying that any major political party that has a primary, only members of that party may vote on their ballot. So those are the 3 initiatives that we have. We've just gotten them printed. We still need funding to help pay for the printing. We got a great deal, but so it's 3 different initiatives, and so the cost for that was just 15 grand, and that's just for the straight printing. We still have to get them out across the state. So these are Colorado constitutional amendments, which means we have to get our 125,000 verified signatures from across the 35 different Senate districts. Which means we can't just like pool from one big area. We have to spread this out across the state. We are up and running, picking up picking up petitions every day this week as they're getting printed off the press and starting to get them distributed. So why we are here is to ask you to partner with us. I know that some of those goals, like Jim said, that we're aligned in that, and if you have volunteers that would like to help us with the petitions, if you have any financing that you can lend us to help us pay for this, the printing on this, I'm not sure, what you could offer us, but we would love to partner with you. I think anybody that cares about their party is going to be interested in these petitions. As I have spent just a couple days with it, people were more than happy to sign them. I had for us, I'm a registered Republican, although whatever. So we had a wide variety of people's beliefs in there, in unaffiliated, that were more than willing to sign it. Even just the waste of having to send out these 3 ballots, that's such a large cost on our counties, that of course comes out of our pockets. And I mean, my ultimate goal is to stop the machine counts. That's been my focus for 4 years now. But this is an attack that's coming on Colorado, and so I veered off my ultimate goal at the moment to try and stop this ranked choice voting. So I don't know if you have any questions. We have a website. I guess I should give you that. Colorado Counts libertarianpartyofcolorado.com is our website. We have the initiatives up there. You can volunteer there. You can donate there. You can learn about what's happening, what we're proposing, and a little bit about what he has come after us. Thank you, Peg, for putting that in the chat. And then, yeah, I guess I'll just ask you if you have any questions. Is it, we'll go from there.
I'll open the floor, Mr. Vance.
Yes, Linda, thank you for coming on board. I mean, as legislative director, I've noticed one thing. It's kind of all of us versus the commies. So thank you. I know you're a Republican, we're libertarian. So it's great to kind of mesh together, find new ways that we can everybody can get together and fight these people.
Right.
My question to you is, what kind of information do you have? I checked out your website, coloradoaccounts.com. Do you have any literature, PDFs, stuff that I can send out to our state so that way we can really start raising awareness, and that way when it is time to start gathering signatures for petition for ballot access, I can really start asking for volunteers, start asking for people that are who are going to be willing to step up and sign their name to this.
Sure. Well, we are continuing to develop more and more, handouts, flyers. We had basically an overhaul of the website. It's pretty bare and plain at the moment. It's a little bit in construction. We had gone down a path and realized we were running into copyright issues, so we had to kind of redo our whole theme there. Under the deputize me, the training, there's a bunch of documents there, but yes, that is something that we will be developing more, so that you have some flyers to sort of educate people. And then once again, if you click on the initiatives on that homepage, it should bring up the actual language that would be going into the Constitution. The original question that you'll see on the ballot, that's the title, and then the language of the initiative is what would actually go into the Constitution. This was a new thing for me. I didn't even know that there was a title board. I'm not sure if anyone here did, but I had no idea that this was a process and that this is how it went. So when we found out that Ken Theory was coming at us hard with that all candidate primary and the ranked choice voting and petitioning on, I started attending these hearings down at the Secretary of State's office and pushing back and filing rehearings, and like I said, filed in the Supreme Court trying to appeal their decision, and just trying to push back, because it's like, we're not going to just stand here and let you walk all over us as he did back in 2016. So I think that this is the best offense, to best defense is a good offense, and we will see something from him, if not two things from him on the ballot. And we will, I'll proclaim it now, we will see ours on the ballot also, that the people of Colorado will have a choice. And that's where we'd love your help. And so I don't know if that's a pretty long answer. The answer is, we're still developing. There is a bunch of information up there, but yes, we will have more flyers that are ready to go to for handouts.
It's also my understanding that Linda Templin from RCV is pretty against what's going on. I've sat in on many meetings, and my national secretary, Karen Ann Harlos, as well, has sat in on meetings to voice our concern as a third party. So it's not even supported within the ranked choice party fully. So I think that's really interesting.
It is. Yes, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, I spent a lot of time with Linda Templin down at those title boards. Also, the League of Women Voters was there. And that we were arguing for the same thing for different reasons. It was kind of interesting. We both don't like the way Theory is going about it. She likes ranked choice voting, but the method in which he's going to implement it is not how those proponents of ranked choice voting would like to see it. So it was very interesting to see us coming at it from completely different angles, but not approving what he was doing.
So yes, we definitely want to support Linda Templin and Karen Ann Harlos, as well as you and the work that you're doing. I'll open the floor to my directors. Is there any motions or anything that my directors would like to do? I'm not opening the floor to anybody but my directors right now. But I will open to public comment again, Mr. Atwood.
We agreed, and I would move that we make a $500 donation to the Good Initiatives to show some of our support.
I second.
We have a motion and a second. Ms. Spink, do you have a comment to this, or I can open?
No, not to this. Not to this.
Okay. Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any opposition to a $500 donation to this project? Hearing none, that passes. Ms. Spink.
Yeah, time is money, right, Linda? I mean, we're talking making flyers, etc., like that. I'm curious if there's anything else that we can do. Perhaps we have people within our board or within the party that can help make flyers if you're paying a third party to do it, or something along those lines where it may not be a direct financial contribution, but still can that, we can all kind of lend a hand if we can. And that's not necessarily something for you to answer right now. But if you do know of things that we can help with, I think we'd all be happy to help if we can.
Well, one of the things that we're doing is trying to gather circulators across the state. So if you know of someone that you think would do that and in your party, or if there's someone there that would like to, I know Jim's been in my group. We're kind of organizing a lot of this out of the Signal app. And he's been in the group with us, but we're looking for people that are willing to carry petitions. We have 40 per packet. So the way we've done it is you stick the 3 of these on a clipboard with like sticky note tabs for to get you right to the signature page, and just have a little conversation with whoever's signing, and it goes pretty quickly. I don't know if bringing them to events. I don't know if you guys do door knocking at all politically. You're allowed to carry petitions that way also. Some people end up standing outside of King Soopers, that type of thing, Safeway, to try and gather enough signatures to get it on the ballot. But that's what we're looking for. We're looking for a workforce. We're looking for, and yes, if it's in a creative way that you could help us, if you have people with that skill, marketing skills, whatever, that they would like to help work with flyers, that type of thing, that'd be great.
Okay. Yeah, I would just ask, I mean, if you want to come up with a list of 5 things we can help you with, I mean, I'll go carry petitions. And we can start looking internally for who's willing to jump in and help.
Okay, well, on the website, there's a place that you can, it says deputize me. That's where you can fill out a quick form and just contact us with your information so we can get back with you and get you on the list of circulators and get petitions to you, and organize that way.
Okay.
Great. And thank you, Jennifer, for being willing to carry also. I guess I would ask, thank you, by the way, thank you very much for donating to us to help offset some of these printing costs. We appreciate that. And then I guess we can get the details on how you want to make that donation. At the moment, you could send us a check, or we have a give, send, go. That's at the moment the only 2 methods that we're accepting donations right now. So
Okay. I'll get with Jim and Ms. Spink, my treasurer, to get that taken care of within the next 24 hours.
All right.
I'll open the floor to Mr. Atwood.
Good evening. I'm pleased that you're down at thank you for suffering through the title board with both Linda Teflin and Celeste Landry. To all of you, you deserve crowns in your stars in your crowns in heaven. Could you remind me what your third initiative was? There was 201, 202, and was it 203?
278. We had a little bit of a gap there. So 278 is what would close the primaries.
Yes.
So 201 is to prohibit ranked choice voting. 202 is to preserve the nomination process, and 278 is to close primaries.
Great. And now, from a logistics question, how many ping pong tables do you have in order to sort to sort these initiative packets?
Well, we have ordered, that's a good question. We have ordered 5,000 of each. So I figured out that's about 2,500 pounds of paper. And we have a location in Colorado Springs, someone's garage down there. And then we have a garage up in Longmont. Those will be our two basically distribution points. We're going to Pony Express it from one county to the other as we set up captains across the state to to be the distribution point so that well that's the plan. I'm not particularly ping pong tables, but that's sort of the plan on distribution, and we will be collating them so that you're handed a packet of the three different sections, the three different petitions. It's basically comes as one unit, there's the three of those, and some people sign them all and some people don't. Some people say, no, I like this one and this one, but they won't sign the other one. That's fine.
And I think I'm very pleased to hear your distribution plan. I'm going to ask about ping pong tables. I'm asking about the consolidation, and feel that you'll need at least one ping pong table, hopefully more. And I look forward to you also having cardboard boxes for these. So good luck. And
yeah, thank you. It is a huge undertaking.
Yes.
The volume of paper and even just the tracking them. Each petition, each section has to be tracked. The name and address of the person that's out circulating it. They all have to be notarized. It is a huge undertaking organizationally, and I do believe we have a good team set up to do that. We have other people that have just finished petitioning certain things that we have asked questions to. Lori Cutinelli is helping us. She did some of the recall polis stuff, as you may know. So we do have some experienced people that are coming alongside of us that have done large petitioning efforts.
Good luck, and it's thankless.
Yeah.
Great. Well, thank you so much for enlightening us on this very serious issue and allowing us to help assist you. I really appreciate it. I love to coalesce where I can. I think it's good practice.
Right. Well, I think that in general, there's more that unites people than divides them. So
I agree. All right, with that, I'm going to move on to our next item, which is basically announcements and public comment again. Mr. Rutledge, you've been waiting so patiently. Did you get your mic sorted out? Nope. I guess you did not. I can't help you either. God knows I'm not techie. Well, Mr. Rutledge, if you will send me an email. Nope, I can't hear you now. And I am over time. So if you will email me, I'll see what I can do to get your announcement out. I'm sorry your mic's not working. I really appreciate your attendance and your patience. So we're going to be meeting the second Monday of June at the Independence Institute at 7 p.m. And with that, we are adjourned at 8:16 p.m. Thank you everyone for your attendance.
Thank you, everybody.